to the Strong Exploits YouTube channel. And this is a brief overview of Armitage. Armitage just happens to be one of my favorite tools. And it is for those who are not aware, Armitage is a front end GUI for the Metasploit framework. And although the current most popular distributions like Kali Linux and Backbox and other pen testing distributions, nowadays Armitage doesn't always come pre-packaged out of the box, but there are ways to download and install Armitage on your preferred Linux distribution. But here's a quick shortcut tip. You can go online and you can look up Cyborg Hawk. Cyborg Hawk is another pen testing Linux OS that came out a few years ago, and it just so happens to have Armitage built in, and it works right out of the box. No other work needed, just right out of the box. Now I must forewarn you that with Armitage, it is heavily dependent on Metasploit because it's the front end of the tool. And if you run an update on the Metasploit framework, it could break the functionality of Armitage. I like the visuals. I really love just seeing visually what happens, when you're pen testing and testing different things. So without further ado, you can see on the screen I have three hosts right now. They're unidentified as of right now. You can see from the IP addresses they're all the same network. So you have your personal lab at home, or if you have special permission to test a particular network or host systems, um, depending on where the systems reside, Armitage can take advantage of these things and allow a person to pivot from one system to the next. I'm not going to cover pivoting in this particular video. I may cover another video in the future, but just going to show you a quick use of the tool in regards to what's going on with my OSs and which ones are what. So here's a quick demonstration. So with the first host here is running a TCP Open Scan. You can see TCP, it's a port scan, so it's just giving me basically the ports that are open, and many ports are open, which is a severe no-no in CyberSec. Now that gave me the ports that are open, but I still don't know what the OS is. So I'm going to click and choose an Nmap scan, quick scan OS detect. OK for the IP. And if you notice in Armitage, each individual scan gives you its own separate shell. So you can see with this particular scan, it gives me a whole separate tab. The TCP scan was its own separate tab. And then with Nmap, it gave me its own separate tab. And Nmap scan is now starting. There was a brief delay, as it seems, where it could happen depending on how quick or perhaps some threads ongoing with your systems here. But it brings me back. It says scan complete, and boom, we have a Windows box. Yay for us! So now we know we're working with a Windows machine, which seems to give feedback on whether it's XP, which It would be highly critical if a environment now let's still run Windows XP in the production world, but we are in a lab, so that's okay for now. What will the second box give us? Looking at the Windows logo brings me back to my earlier days. Not to date myself, but I remember seeing this logo many years ago, 95 and 98, and just brings me back memories. So with the second box, I am running basically the same scan, which is a OS detection scan. And when Nmap is complete with its scan, it will let me know. And you can tell from the Windows scan here how it's giving back pretty much a guess on Windows XP here, Windows RPC. It pretty much narrows it down to Windows XP as identifying OS. Nmap scans within Armitage. You know, Armitage pulls from these already built-in engines. And so you can see from OS details, it says Windows 2000 or Windows XP. It basically wants the person running the scan to make an educated guess on exactly what Windows version is running on that particular host. And we have another Windows box, and with that particular scan is showing Windows 7. So we have Windows 7 SP1, perhaps OS on there. And then finally, the third box, we shall run, of course, the same scan. If you notice, it says quick scan. That's OS detect. This quick scan is a rapid scan, so it will generate some noise in environment if a SIEM or monitoring tool is looking for a spike in traffic. So generally speaking, when you're running scans, the slower, the quieter, the quicker, the louder. That's pretty much how it goes. So we have a Linux box that is on our third list here. So we have a bit of a diversity, if you will, on the range and type of boxes that we have to look. So this concludes just a quick look into OS detection with running Armitage. And as previously mentioned in my next couple of videos, I shall cover more in-depth use of Armitage, such as pivoting, dropping payloads, dumping hashes, all those great things that that we all learn to do and enjoy with cybersecurity. So this concludes this video. Have a good one. Happy testing.